Okay, well, welcome to the Voices of Wellness episode 2. And today I have my guest Mariane, who hails from Namibia, and she is the founder of the Nomad Group. 11 years ago, Mariane combined her love for her culture and holistic wellness to create the Nomad Group. And the Nomad Group encompasses a beautiful ecosystem of health and wellness offerings. It is an award-winning day spa, consultancy firm, and a placing agency with a lifestyle product range and a training institute. Mariane has played a pivotal pioneering role by creating a foundation, which I must say, this warms my heart. She trains visually impaired women and provides them with the skills required to get a job within the wellness industry, which is one of the very first for the African continent. She is Namibia's first Black female commercial pilot. Now, this doesn't get any better than this, and has turned to become a wellness entrepreneur. She is on the forefront with the Destination Namibia to highlight wellness tourism within Namibia itself. And not only to add on to this, she has been privileged to be elected as the Spa and Wellness Association of Africa's Wellness Ambassador for Africa in order to promote and make wellness an inclusive industry. And up till today remains an advocate and a pioneer for wellness in Africa. So Mariane, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. What an introduction. Thank you very much. That sounds amazing when it's read out like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Beautiful.
for having me.
Thank you. Now, Mariane, after reading that inspiring and motivating bio, can you tell us your story?
Well, my story started off as a very young girl. I don't exactly remember the age, but I started off accompanying my aunt, my mom's sister, older sister, who was a herbalist. And she would, early mornings go out in the fields and we would go and harvest wild herbs and aloe vera and all of this. And we'll bring it back and she'll make little potions. And, I was just mesmerized in this world where she would make medicine out of plants. And I think at the time, I had no idea that this could be a career. I'm talking many, many moons ago. I had no idea that you can take it out. There was no visual reference apart from her that one can, there's a career called herbalism or natural path or anything like that. So growing up in a household of boys, I'm the only girl. Of course, I was being very competitive, and this aviation path came along my journey, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to show my brothers literally that I can do anything that they can do, and accomplish. So I sort of pushed back this natural inkling for wellness. I push it away because of I just didn't see a reference that one could make a career out of it. But I think it was so innate in me, or it is still, that I am passionate about wellness. Yet I couldn't really put one and one together to make it into a career. So what was out there at the time is you are a beautician and you work somewhere, and that's sort of the end of your lifespan and in terms of career. I then ventured off to being this pilot, which was very daring of me at the time, and uncharted territories, and I made a success of it. But there was this yearning, wherever I would go in the world, I would find a spa, a wellness facility, a resort. I would go there in my time of, waiting for the schedule to change for me to go back or whatever the case might be. And I remember the one day I was sitting at the resort and I saw this pristine white box of aloe vera, the juice, but it was a serum, and it had a beautiful aloe drawing on top of it. And I just made the connection right then. There, I made the connection. I said, "Wait a minute, isn't this what my aunt was doing?" But because it's now packaged so beautifully, people all over are, buying it. And those sort of occurrences happened, and I could see things. But the biggest changing occurrence in this path was when my father passed away. And as the only girl, I felt the need. Nobody said I needed to do it, but I just felt the need to come back home and be with my mother, to support her during her mourning time, and so forth. And it is during this time, naturally, the families come together, the community come together to support, the person who is mourning, or the household, the family. And it was during that time that the elderly ladies would come around, and assist my mom during her mourning. They would either bathe her or so forth. But this specific incident, I think it was an aunt, but somebody said to me, go get a bucket of warm water, put salt in, and sit on the floor while my mom had her feet in the bucket, and I had to massage her, like just wash her feet, while another aunt was on top of her, massaging her as she is crying and mourning her husband. And it was in that moment, that very moment, my life changed, because there was just this connection to this healing that was happening, this ritual, that I looked around my cousins, it was mostly family around me, and I could see, and the thought came, like, how come we are not using this natural inkling we have to heal the world, literally? And not only healing the world, but it is a tool that we all have naturally, but we're not using it to better ourselves, our environments, and our lives. And in that moment, I made the decision. I said, I'm going to take all of these young girls sitting here thinking their lives are over because they're out of the schooling system for whatever reason. And we're going to use this natural skill to change their worlds. Not only are they going to give something off that they know inherently, but what they're going to receive in return is going to help them. So it's transformative in both ways. And that's really how it started. And I'm making it's a very simplistic sort of explanation, but that's literally it. That's how it started. Of course, how life works. It wasn't as simple as that. Again, the world hasn't seen what I was trying to do. And I was met with a lot of resistance because it doesn't look like your pristine spa, what I'm trying to do. It doesn't look like anything anybody has seen. So, of course, they have no reference point, and of course, they're going to discard it or, not be receptive to it. But somehow we continued. We trained the first 20 girls. I brought in a trainer, and I set these girls down. And because I made a promise to them, the promise was really that once we unleash and unearth this natural skill, this nurturing quality that we all have, it's going to change your life. And when things didn't work out as it should, I kept to my promise. And then the sort of the entrepreneur in me kicked in, and to say, okay, I went and knocked on different doors, wellness owners, lodge owners, hotel owners. And I said, guys, you have no wellness facility. I have the manpower. I have the know-how. Let's work together. And so it started. I kept my promise to them by enabling them to be placed in different wellness facilities around the country at the time. Although the whole idea was that I would have my own sort of wellness place where everybody would come to, I think the timing was just off, and nobody was ready for that. But I kept at that. And fast forward, I've left my career in aviation. I have no, I mean, I could have gone back, but the force, this drive to change was overpowering everything, even though everybody around me thought I was really crazy. And at the time, the Hilton Hotel was opening up its first five-star hotel in Namibia. And I went knocking on those doors, and I said, hey, let me come in. I've got these great girls and we can run your spa. There's no ways tourists wants to come to Africa and they want to experience um, a wellness facility that is Western. Where they come from, they get that. And so it was, here and there, it went well. Majority, we did the conventional treatments, and here and there, we snuck in sort of something traditional, and we could see like, wow, that was amazing. And after a while, I had to leave. I left the Hilton and I started my own spa, as it's called, Nomad Spa. And there we started acting out our craft in all our glory. So when we get visitors, they are totally mesmerized by, I had no idea this existed. And you see the transformation within the girls as well, that I am in charge. My skills are able to heal this person. My skills are able to transform this person. And it was a win-win. And it was during one of those training sessions that I walked into a training session. I think I meditated that morning because things were just not, as business goes, any startup, you have your hiccups. It's not smooth sailing. And I really was asking out there, the universe, God, somebody, am I doing the right thing? What is going on? It's not smooth sailing. And I remember walking into the hall where the young ladies were training. I think we had just taken on a new intake but they were training. I walked in there, and the moment I walked in, the trainer was saying something to the effect, close your eyes and, be in tune with the body, or trying to ground them and really put them in there. But I walked in at that instant. And again, in that moment, the thought came to me of, where are all these blind girls? Literally, that's how it happened. It happened to me. Where are the visually impaired girls of Namibia? Because I know with disability and all of this in our cultures, you are sort of discarded. You send away because you know not good enough. And because you send away, you out of sight, out of mind. And I started on this journey to think, but it is proven that once you lose one of your senses, another one is heightened. So where are these girls? And it literally started like that. And we have one of the best doctors in the world, an eye doctor who also goes out into the community, and um, she does cataracts operations for free, and she has this huge community of where she brings in doctors from all over the world, and they do all these drive outs and heal people with eye problems. And I thought to myself, if I can get hold of her, because I'm sure anybody with an eye problem would sort of knock on her door. And I called her and I said, this is my idea, but I don't think it's ever been done. I don't see anything out there. The only blind massaging I'm reading is all up in Vietnam, India, and all these places. Can you help me? Where are these girls? And she was quiet for a moment, and she said to me, my child, this is phenomenal. They do come to me. It's a problem. There's no facilities to assist these young women and so forth. But let me help you. Give me some time. I'll see what I can figure out. And it was literally in a week or two as she called me back and she said, I found a bunch of ladies for you. I said, wow, okay, let's go. Again, not knowing what I'm putting myself into. And the ladies had to come from the different villages. Then there was issues with, where do they stay? Are they, fed? So social issues started popping up. But we started training. And I remember my head therapist at the time, I threw her in the deep end. I said, you know what? We're going to get these ladies and we're going to train them. And she said, okay, cool. And it so transpired that she grew up with an elder brother who was blind. So she knew instinctively how to work with blind people because it was not easy. And I just thought, wow, I had no idea. And so we went and she trained the first, I think there were 8 at the time, and 3 of them could complete the course. The others couldn't complete it because of social issues. They had no place to stay. They had no means to meals or yeah, you just your the things we take for granted, transportation to come to the training facility. And but the three that finished, they thrive. They still today with Nomad, and I'm talking this is about 5 years ago. They thriving. They one of the ladies got married because now she feels confident enough to be. She feels she is confident. She's human, just like me and you. There's nothing wrong with her. She can take care of herself. And out of those three, really, this it opened my eyes to say, but this is a possibility. This can be done. Here we're sitting with a huge social issue with people who has potential, but because they don't look like me and you, they are discarded. And that is also what brought us to starting the foundation. And with this foundation, I'm calling out onto the wellness world to say, how can you help these young women? And it's not unique to Namibia. Across the continent, we have blind women. And I want to take the program and roll it out to each and every one of them so that they can feel empowered. They can give off what they naturally can do. And so forth also transform this industry of ours, because they are phenomenal, these young women. And so that is the aspect of, the foundation. But we also, through our institute, the Nomad Institute, we train young girls who are out of the schooling system. And we know how it goes with, our cultural backgrounds, especially here in Africa, is the boy child has preferences naturally. It might not be intentional, but a simple thing like teenage pregnancy. And I'm talking specifically here because I can see it. I can't speak for the rest of Africa, but I know it's similar. So she's pregnant. The boy who made her pregnant can continue with his schooling. She has to take out time, 2-3 years, because she has the pregnancy year, the year that she gives birth, the first year of raising the child. Sometimes it's up that long, 3 years. And then how do you get back into the system? You are overage. You cannot relate to the younger ones. I know there's some colleges where you can upgrade, but it's not the same because this person has not developed academically to be able to be left alone in a college to study by herself. So a lot of them are not that lucky, or yes, they're not that lucky to go through that whole scope. And so what happens is they fall out of the system. And when you fall out of the system, all the other social ills become even more. You now decide to take a boyfriend because it's survival. You have to live. So let me choose that one because at least he can give me the little bit of stipends that I can get because it will enable me to feed my child. And so decisions are made not because of that's the thing you want to do. The decisions are made pure survival. So with the Institute, we've come up and said, you know what? If we empower you, and it's so true, when you empower a woman, you empower the whole village. It is, it's not a cliche. It is very, very true. And we have seen it through our institute where girls come to us where they are abused. They're coming from relationships that the boyfriends don't want them to excel. They're holding them back. But the minute they are skilled and we send them out to resorts and lodges and they work from there, they are totally transformed. They make decisions that are empowering to them and not the circumstances that they are finding themselves in. So there's huge scope for all of this that I see, that, and that is why I'm so passionate about it. So I wear a lot of hats, I wear hats of calling placing agencies and say, hey, we've got trained therapists. Can you place them in your resort? We have this new technique, this African wellness technique that is bringing out to the world, showcasing that, you know what, we have healing rituals, we have healing modalities that we want the world to experience. have these treatments in your facility. Start with a treatment. You don't have to change the whole concept to Nomad. Start with one ritual. Start with just something and see how receptive the world is. And it's, for me, it's a package deal. We come with a trained therapist that is coming from a background that is not so kosher, that can transform her, that can help her. And you are receiving something on the other end that you've never seen before. And so that's really is, it's, I call it an ecosystem. I call Nomad a whole ecosystem. You know, we start by empowering the girl. We place them in a lodge and we use treatment or products that are, you know, natural and ethically made in Namibia that are representative of what the brand is. So yeah, that in a nutshell is sort of my journey and my day-to-day life of what I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mariane, thank you so much. I'm truly humbled by that. And you know, everything you have said from both your personal and professional history is a testimony to the fact that what is for you is for you and will always call you
It's
back to
for
your
you.
true essence. And what
That's
is
very true.
so beautiful is that you live by it. It's wow, I'm
Yeah.
really blown away. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing that. It's really inspiring to see the great work that you're doing and the empowerment that you're instilling in these young ladies. It's only to go further from where it is right now. And
Yes.
I want to touch base on something you had mentioned: African wellness and African modalities. Now, how do you remain true to the African heritage, not only within Nomad, but just, you know, Nomad Group as a whole? And what are your unique offerings that you empower these ladies with?
So what I do is I look at the nomadic tribes, hence the name Nomad. I think that was my starting point. I have spent some time with both these tribes, the Sun people, as well as we have a nomadic tribe called the Himba people. And through my research with the Himba people, I see there are links and ties to the Aboriginal people back in the day, sort of similar rituals and things like that. So it's fascinating. You know, I'm mesmerized by this world. Once I immerse myself in it, it blows my mind how similar we are, yet we're so different. But how rich our cultures are. You know, the African continent is it's truly blessed, if I can put it that way. And the focus, of course, in the beginning has been minerals and all of these other things, which is, it's fine, it's got its place. But when in terms of wellness, it's uncharted territory. Nobody has really taken it. And we look at certain rituals in the West, and you can link it to African rituals. You can see that what is done there is exactly what we do. But what puts us back is that we don't have a name for it. It's not packaged in a certain way. And that gives off sort of a connotation of it's primitive, or it's not proven, or it's not good enough. But if you really dissect it, we're all the same. So my mission at the moment, what wakes me up in the morning every single day is to package this, what I've termed African wellness, package it. And of course we have to conform because of how the industry is. There's certain protocols, there's certain I think coming out and being totally extreme is also not wise, because it might just be rejected on the onset. So what we've done, we've created all of these modalities and rituals based on a specific, be it a tribe, be it like the Sand people have this beautiful rain dance, you know, that they do around the fire to chant to their gods, to call upon the rain. And I looked at that and I said, okay, how do we incorporate that in a treatment? How do we incorporate that and sort of ground the person or the client that comes through, that they can experience that? And it touches on all the senses. And we take that and we compact it, that you have a true experience of what it would feel like being in the Sahara Desert somewhere with the Sun people having this ritual. And that's what we try and bring out, of course, to the confinement of the environment that it's going to be executed in, who is going to do it, and so forth. So that is what I do. And it's been a trial and error, because the feedback we also receive is like, it might not work in this certain environment, and we try and mold it and package it so that it is truly practical and authentic. We remain true to what we want the client to experience.
Wonderful, beautiful. Now, what are one of your best-selling services that you'd say you've curated that embody that very essence of African heritage?
I would say we have a treatment very much linked to the Himba people. The Himba people, if you look at them, it's a nomadic tribe. They're not extinct, but they're dwindling, and their culture is being imposed upon, because obviously we invading, and they changing their dressing mode and so on. But it's so beautiful to really understand what they're all about. They misunderstood, of course, but they have this ritual. It's called, I call it the song dance. So they normally start chanting. When the minute the woman is pregnant, they start chanting the song under a tree or wherever they are. They just chant all along. And this song becomes significant to the baby when she's born. That is your song. It's almost like your naming ceremony, because it ties into you, or the experience of the mother with the baby. That's how they bond. Now, how we've translated that is we've taken the red ochre. They also smear themselves with red ochre. It's a clay, a type of clay that they mix with animal fat out there. Of course, for us, we take the clay, we mix it with a body butter. It smells good. It does all of that. So we start. So there's chanting when we start the treatment. We apply the red clay over the body. We have what we call the rain showers, where we then wash it off, and we continue. So the chanting continues. There's I would say it's not really music, but it's a certain chant that you get, and we do it with little singing bowls that we give the client afterwards. There's that you take with. So whenever you would hear, it's almost like these chimes that people put outside their homes, and the wind chimes, I think it's called. But we have little ones that then is the gift to the client. You can either wear it when you're doing your meditation, or you can wear it whenever, but it will tie back and link back to when you had your treatment, your healing treatment. Oh. And it's a gift we give away to you that you take with wherever you go in the world, that links you to what this experience was all about. That for me is my favorite treatment. I love it. It has healing. I had people cry, literal tears, of when they really make the connection. So yeah, there's many like that, but for me, that is my favorite.
Wow. Well, if you're listening to this and you're going to be within the Southern African region, or even if you're in the North, I think this sort of magical journey is something that wherever you are, you have to take a trip to Nomad and experience it for yourself. I'm blown away by it. Just the description itself has swept me away. So that's beautiful, and congratulations on tying in all those points. It's truly wonderful. Mariane, I've been a fan of Nomad ever since I stumbled upon your page and then connected with you. And I remember coming across one of your posts on Instagram, and one of your guests commented that your therapist had magic hands. And
Yes.
I wanted just to know what sort of feedback do you get, especially from the therapists who are visually impaired? What sort of feedback do your clients share with you after they've had a session?
You know, it's heartwarming when you get feedback like that. As I said, sometimes you get lost in the mechanics of running a business, and you're so stuck in the everything that's possibly going wrong, or how we're going to make payroll, or all of those issues. And then you get those moments where you stop, you read this feedback, or you get told that was the best experience ever. Or they can't put it into words. And the magic hands, that is common. That now has become the common sort of thread that we get the feedback. I think 2 days ago I got a call by an American lady who said, she again stumbled upon Nomad, and she's never had an experience like that. And how can she help us, spread the word and all of that? But what she wants to say is that it was, first of all, she slept well. She said she's never slept so well in her life. She slept like a baby. And how can she help? And I looked at that and I thought to myself, are you talking about Nomad? Are you talking? But yeah, once people experience it, it really is transformative. That's sort of the word that I can describe it, because you enter a certain way, but you leave totally changed on a level that you cannot explain. We had another lady who came through bereavement. She lost her son, and she said she just didn't know what to do with herself. She had cried, she had done everything possible, but the pain was still there. She the emptiness and all of those. And one of the blind girls took her through. They spent some time in that treatment room, and all we heard was this wailing, this deep-seated cry.
Wow.
And when she left, few months later, she said, I don't know, but I left differently. I was okay when I left there, and it's messages like that that wakes me up in the morning and keep on going when things are not going okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the essence of Ubuntu described in one,
Yes.
and I'm truly
Exactly.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and that's what I just feel privileged to be able to be the conduit and the conductor of what I'm doing, because I know I'm being used. It's not me. I'm the one speaking here, but I'm using this platform also to spread out the message, to help those that are behind me.
Wow. You explaining this, you make me reflect on a prayer by Marianne Williamson, your namesake. And
My namesake. Yes.
she says, where would you have me go? Who would you have me teach? Where would you have me heal? What would you have me say, and what would you have me do? And that is just really, when I reflect on that, it makes me think of you and the great work you're doing. So may your path be blessed onwards, and may your great work continue, Marianne. Like I said earlier on, it's only going higher than where it is now.
Yeah.
So thank you on behalf
I
of
really appreciate
the ladies you're helping. It's beautiful. Now, Marianne, is there any support that you would need from the industry or anyone that may be tuning in and listening to this right now? Is there any support that you would need based on the challenges you're facing right now, or challenges you foresee in the future, so that anyone who is able to would be able to reach out to you and lend a helping hand to the great work that you're doing?
Help is always needed, and we truly appreciate. If I have to look at the blind girls, it's not just about the technical skill that we give them. We understand that the reintegration of them back into society, is so needed. Some of these girls needs, just somebody to talk to. It is so isolating where they are. That's the one aspect. And that has also driven me to start the foundation. That was really why we started the foundation, so that we can reach out to industry and individuals who are willing to assist in terms of, be it your technical knowledge, and say, hey, can I come and spend 2 months in Namibia with your girls at your center and just impart my knowledge, my skills to them? That is one part of it. As I say, financially, these girls live off a grant that is less than $100 a month. So for them to be able to earn an income through really dignified income through work they do, it's not charity, it's not handout. And that's what we want to instill in them, that you wake up, you go to work, and you earn an income like anybody else. So through the foundation, it's so multi-layered in terms of, if there are fundraisers out there that can assist, get on board, see how you can help. Everything is in its infancy, because it's just me. I have to pull myself in so many directions, because I want to see it as a fully fledged vehicle that takes on girls from all over the continent who are visually impaired, that comes to our center. They get the knowledge and the technical know-how, and we are able to roll them out into the industry, the greater industry, whether it's on the continent, whether it's the rest of the world. So that kind of assistance is needed. And to those we have reached out, we've received phenomenal feedback that, yes, we want to come. Let me come and help. Let me do that. I can spend 1 hour, a Zoom call with the girls. Yes, do that. So sometimes the help I cannot describe, but if you feel inclined that maybe would this work, we can chat around that and see how it can be of assistance to them. We have this other side of the girls, they might not be visually impaired, but they're coming from broken homes. They're coming from an environment that they need structure. They need somebody to talk to them. And talking to them, you don't need to be a counselor. Talking to them, I mean saying, you know what? I worked on a cruise ship. I'm coming from this background, or this is what this industry has done for me. Because when they hear it from me, they think, oh, here she goes again, preaching. So I always call out to practitioners, therapists, everybody in the industry, just have a chat with them so that they can see, oh, wait a minute, this is possible. What Marianne was talking about is actually true. I can, from my background, work in a resort in the Maldives. Yes, it's possible, but they need that kind of encouragement. So that's sort of, I think, the help that's needed. But on the more professional side, I would call on spa directors, and wellness directors in charge of all these resorts and hotel spas and the industry as a whole. And my question to them is always, what can you introduce that is uniquely African, that is different to what you're offering, just as a, enticement, as a teaser for your clients? Because we're all trying to be offering our clients that come to us something that is unique, something that is a bit different. And the traveler is a very wise person. They go all over and they can spot a gimmick a mile away. That's what I always say. And I believe that, the industry is searching for authenticity, yet in that authenticity, there needs to be uniqueness. And I'm saying we are offering that. Let's have a chat. Let's see how we can package something that one can try out to wherever you are in the wellness realm.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Um, audience, as you're listening to Marianne, I will be placing her email address, her website, contact details, of which after you've heard this, you can reach out to her directly and see how, in whatever form, whether it is mentorship or sponsorship or links toward the same, you can contact her directly, or you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to connect the two of you together.